and then this is where I did the ring around it, and I scraped it, and I'm now going to apply the hormone and do the traditional thing with the air layer, so also called mark coating. And I'm sorry the video quality is not that great because today I'm on my cell phone handheld. Usually I use a tripod and so on, but I decided to do this on the fly. This is a cool instrument here. This is a scissor that I purchased probably 10-12 years ago. And if anybody knows where you can get another one of these, let me know, because I've searched for these things. I've tried grafting scissors on a Google search. Have you noticed how it has that interesting way that the scissor is designed? I can go around, place that there, go around in a complete 360 with the scissor, 360 all around, and then I just peel back. Once I've made those cuts, I peel this right back and separate that bark to get down to the cambium. So now we're going to go ahead and we're going to continue with the air layer. Okay, so at this point, I went around, I took my my hormone powder, my rooting powder. This is pretty strong stuff. I'm using Hormidin 3. So, you know, I've never done a Baobab air layer before, so I hope that this will be okay. Sometimes you can use something that's a little bit too strong, and this might be the case. So just as trial and error, we're going to find out. So we've applied the hormone powder. It's very important that you get it right underneath here because this is where your roots are going to come from. And generally you'll see some callousing, and then after the callousing the roots will form. Now we're going to attach the sphagnum to it, sphagnum moss, which has been soaking right in here. It's been soaking for about 10 minutes. No big deal. Just got to make sure it's nicely watered. And then we're going to grab it. And the idea is to make sure that you get all that water out of it. Squeeze and get the water out. And just have moist, nice and moist, not soaking wet, but like a little bit more than just a damp sponge, you know? A damp sponge basically is what you want. And with this sphagnum moss, the long strand is the one that I use. They call it long fibered. But when you do use this, make sure that you get your hands, carefully squeeze it, look at it before you wet it, and remove any of the really sharp, pointy, almost like branch-like fibers that are in there, because that'll puncture your plastic or your aluminum, leading to everything drying out. All right, so we'll be right back. I'm going to go ahead and take it, and I'm going to place it right here. And again, folks, I apologize. I'm using one hand. So after I squeeze this together, basically it just comes together like that. Again, one-handed. And next time I'll use a tripod. And then I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to basically squeeze it all together. And then I'm going to wrap it up. And I'll be right back. I wrapped it up real nice and tight. I made sure that the sphagnum was nicely connected tightly and just very moist, but not soaking wet. I wrapped it up real good with the cellophane. And now what I'm going to do is I'm going to apply the aluminum foil to give it additional protection and to keep the light off of it. So we don't want this to have any holes in it. We don't want it to get punctured. So we'll go ahead and we'll wrap it. Also, we don't want ants getting in there, which happens quite a bit when the wrap is loose. So it's been tightly wrapped, and now we'll give it. Now we'll do the second coating, or I should say, now we'll do the second wrap. Now what I've done is I've taken the aluminum foil, the regular aluminum foil. I made it into a kind of folded it into a V shape, and then I'll take it and I will bring it out to the edge. Okay, and then I'll just simply take it and wrap it. There we have the Baobab air layer wrapped now in the aluminum foil. And if I really want to go crazy and go one step further, which is generally not necessary, I can take some tape or some rubber bands and wrap them down in here and wrap them up around the top over here so that we can go ahead and prevent any possibility that it'll unravel or that it'll lose its nice moisture that's in there. So I'll come back to this in 6 weeks and we'll take a look and see. Is it going to happen in 6 weeks? I don't know. It might take 3 months for all I know. I've never did a Baobab air layer, but we're on a journey together to see what happens. Success or failure, well, you don't learn unless you try. And sometimes you got to fail a lot until you figure it out. But this is done traditional air layer on a Baobab, as I described earlier. And we'll be back in 6 weeks or so, give or take, because I'm always making videos, running around, and sometimes just don't have the time to come back right away. But ultimately, we'll have another video update. Alright, so thanks again for stopping by. I hope you liked this video, and if you do, give us a thumbs up and subscribe to our channel. Thank you very much. You can also visit us on peppysplants.com.